Don't share your troubles with everyone you meet. Most won't care, and the rest will be happy to see you struggle. Cease seeking the good in everyone. Instead, seek out genuinely good people. You must do what is right for you. No one else can walk in your shoes. The more gratitude you express, the more reasons for gratitude you'll find. Don't let a single bad day convince you that your life is bad. Every moment spent comparing your life to another's is a moment wasted. You can lie down to be walked over, and people will still complain that you're not flat enough. When contemplating life, remember, guilt can't change the past, and anxiety can't alter the future. Every person in your life serves as a teacher, offering lessons in love and support or teaching you what to avoid. You see someone's true colors when you're no longer useful to them. Don't marry out of a sense of obligation. You have less time than you think. Express your love to those you care about, and do so often. If you've never doubted a decision, you haven't taken big enough risks. Not everyone who claims to support you truly does. Trust actions over words. You can't force someone to love you, no matter how much you love them. Choose your words carefully. Once spoken, they can only be forgiven, not erased. Don't let someone who has wronged you make you feel flawed. Don't undervalue yourself because someone else didn't value you. Know your worth. If you're willing to sacrifice your long-term goals for immediate gratification, you'll always be disappointed. Being single with peace of mind is preferable to being in a relationship that makes you miserable. Sometimes, you just have to say no and ignore the guilt that follows. Often, the right path is also the hardest. Your actions today can improve all your tomorrows. Life will sometimes repeat your situation until you learn from it. You won't be punished for your anger will be your punishment. It doesn't matter if you're right. The people you associate with can shape your life in unexpected ways. Sometimes, there's no clear right choice. Make a decision and then work to make it right. The biggest mistake is to live in constant fear of making one. Learn to be content and happy alone. Needing others for happiness makes you vulnerable. You're not responsible for others' expectations of you. Not every thought needs to be voiced. Life includes things we don't want to happen but must accept, things we don't want to know but must learn, and people we can't live without but must let go. No matter who tries to teach you about life, you won't truly understand until you experience it yourself. You can start over at any time. Become the person you want to be, starting today. Those who demand the most from you often give the least. Never compromise these three things: your family, your heart, and your dignity. Always focus on where you're headed, not where you've been. Overthinking ruins you. It ruins the situation, twists things around, makes you worry about futile questions, and makes everything much worse than it actually is. Don't worry about what people say behind your back. They are the people who are always finding faults in your life instead of fixing the faults in their own life. Sometimes painful things can teach us lessons that we didn't think we needed to know. Be happy on your own. Don't seek out someone else to validate your existence. Act like you have been there before. You must welcome change as a rule, but not as your ruler. Just because things could have been different doesn't mean they'd be better. Life doesn't get easier or more forgiving. We get stronger and more resilient. It's not the mistakes that define one's character, but the manner in which one responds to those mistakes. People will disappoint you, so never put all your trust in anyone. Hard work doesn't always guarantee success, but laziness almost certainly guarantees failure. You'll never be truly happy if you constantly seek validation from others. Anything that you start to take a relaxed attitude towards stops controlling you. The pursuit of perfection is futile. Aim for progress instead. Your self-worth is non-negotiable. Never settle for anything or anyone that diminishes it. Be careful what you tolerate. You are teaching people how to treat you. You will never be 100% sure about a decision, but always make a decision, because it's better to go back and fix it than to never make it at all. Learn to say no without feeling guilty. It protects your time and priorities. Chasing happiness will lead you to misery, until you realize that happiness is the way. Maybe you are not healing because you're trying to be who you were before. That person doesn't exist anymore, because there's a new you trying to be born. Breathe life into that person. There will always be someone who can't see your worth. Don't let it be you. You learn nothing from life if you think you're right all the time. No one owes you anything. You have to work for what you want in life. There are things we don't want to happen but have to accept, things we don't want to know but have to learn, and people we can't live without but have to let go. What you want requires consistency and discipline. Your entire life can change in an instant. So instead of passively taking what you have for granted, be grateful for it and do whatever good you can with it. The worst kinds of enemies are those who pretend to be your friends. The actions of men are the best interpreters of their thoughts. Never decide what you can or cannot do based on your lowest points in life. Only put off until tomorrow what you are willing to die having left undone. The harder your life becomes, the faster you will reach your goals. Excuses won't fix your problems. Take responsibility for your actions, accept that you will make mistakes, and learn from them instead of dwelling on them. Befriend those who expand your thinking, not just your circle. Avoid making decisions when you're angry and avoid making promises when you're happy. You will never understand the damage you did to someone until the same thing is done to you. Be careful who you let in your life. People will come and drain the life out of you, then leave and blame everything on you. Maturity is when you have the power to destroy someone who did you wrong, but you just breathe, walk away, and let life take care of them. You are the only person you can control. Be humble enough to know you can lose everything, but be confident enough to know you can get it all back. Remember that every time you try, you're making progress. Spend so much time on self-improvement that you have no time to criticize others. Smart people stop overthinking once they understand that the best decisions require more gut feeling than pure intellect. It all begins and ends in your mind. What you give power to has power over you. Work on mastering your mind. The more self-confidence you have, the less you'll rely on others. Just because you're trustworthy with others' secrets doesn't mean they'll reciprocate. Often, personal growth is more important than a change of scenery. It's possible to do everything right and still lose. That's not a flaw. That's life. Inner peace starts when you decide not to let others control your emotions. Whoever angers you has power over you. Progress and success require sacrifice, and a person's achievements are measured by what they're willing to give up. We move forward in life when we overcome fear. A determined person finds a way, an unmotivated one finds excuses. No matter how hard you try, some people will never like you. Sometimes you have to take risks. Stepping out of your comfort zone can be scary, but you'll never know what could have been if you don't try. Advice is given based on the giver's perspective. For many of us, the real danger isn't aiming too high and failing, but aiming too low and succeeding. Be an example of what you wish to receive. If you want love, be loving. If you seek truth, be honest. If you desire respect, be respectful. What you give will come back to you. Never speak out of hate, jealousy, anger, or insecurity. Think before you speak. You only have one body. Take care of it. It's with you for life, and while it's resilient, it needs proper care to function well. If someone insists they're telling the truth, they're probably lying. Don't let others' opinions define your self-worth. If you're unhappy with your life, it's up to you to change it. It won't change on its own. When crafting your life story, don't let anyone else write it for you. Don't do anything that will make you feel the need to lie later. Putting others down doesn't elevate you. Looking after yourself isn't selfish. Light moves faster than sound, which is why some people seem smart until they speak. Sometimes, you just need to relax and trust that things will work out. Let go a bit and let life unfold. Life is full of risks, but the biggest risk to avoid is doing nothing. You're the only one who's with you all the time, so start appreciating yourself and who you are. Overthinking can be destructive. It can distort situations, create unnecessary worries, and make things seem far worse than they truly are. Don't concern yourself with gossip. Those who speak ill of you behind your back are often the ones preoccupied with your flaws instead of addressing their own. Sometimes, pain can teach us valuable lessons we never knew we needed. Find happiness within yourself. Don't rely on others to validate your worth. Carry yourself with confidence, as if you're already familiar with the situation. Embrace change as a constant, but don't let it control you. Different doesn't always mean better. Life doesn't become easier, we become stronger. It's not the errors that define us, but how we respond to them. People will let you down, so never place all your trust in anyone. Hard work doesn't guarantee success, but laziness almost ensures failure. Seeking constant approval from others will never bring true happiness. Once you adopt a more relaxed attitude towards something, it loses its power over you. Striving for perfection is a fruitless endeavor. Aim for progress instead. Your self-worth is not up for negotiation. Never settle for anything or anyone that diminishes it. Be mindful of what you tolerate. You're teaching others how to treat you. You'll never be completely certain about a decision, but always make one. It's better to correct it later than to never make it at all. Learn to say no without guilt. It's crucial for protecting your time and priorities. The pursuit of happiness can lead to misery until you realize that happiness is the journey, not the destination. You may not be healing because you're trying to be your old self. That person is gone, and a new you is emerging. Nurture that new self. Some people may never recognize your value, but you must always see it in yourself. You learn nothing if you believe you're always right. No one owes you anything. You must work for what you want. Life presents us with things we wish wouldn't happen but must accept, truths we'd rather not know but must learn, and people we can't live without but must let go. Achieving your goals requires consistency and discipline. Your life can change in an instant. Instead of taking things for granted, be grateful and do good with what you have. The most dangerous enemies are those who pretend to be your friends. Actions are the truest reflection of one's thoughts. Don't define your capabilities by your lowest moments. Only postpone until tomorrow what you're willing to leave undone if you were to die today. The tougher your life gets, the quicker you'll reach your goals. Excuses won't solve your problems. Take responsibility, accept mistakes, and learn from them. Surround yourself with people who expand your mind, not just your social circle. Avoid making decisions in anger and promises in happiness. You won't understand the hurt you've caused until you experience it yourself. Be cautious about who you let into your life. Some will drain you and then blame you for everything. Maturity is choosing to walk away and let life deal with those who've wronged you, even when you have the power to retaliate. You can only control yourself. Be humble enough to accept loss but confident enough to know you can rebuild. Remember, every attempt is progress. Focus on self-improvement so much that you have no time to criticize others. Intelligent people stop overthinking when they realize that the best decisions come from intuition, not just intellect. Everything starts and ends in your mind. What you give power to, controls you. Master your mind. Excuses are readily available and simple to fabricate, but finding a solution requires courage. Be wise enough to understand that life won't pause for you to feel ready. Don't tolerate poor treatment from someone just because you love them. Every lie you tell creates future problems. Do the right thing now. Self-belief eliminates the need to convince others. Learn to miss someone without wanting him back in your life. Life's challenges are essential for growth. Sometimes, you must accept that some people can only be cherished in your heart, not in your daily life. Doing things worth being proud of is the key to feeling better about yourself. Choosing short-term pleasure over long-term happiness is a surefire path to regret. Don't fear setting boundaries in relationships. If they leave, you're better off without them. Life improves when you learn to accept apologies you never received. The journey to progress begins with the decision to move from where you are. Slow success builds character, while fast success inflates ego. If you don't distance yourself from distractions, they'll distance you from your goals. Conforming to the norm guarantees mediocrity. Don't compromise your self-respect by tolerating too much from those you want to keep in your life. Focus on building the life you desire, not on distracting yourself from the present. When your intentions are genuine, you don't lose people, they lose you. Self-awareness eliminates fear of missing out on things not meant for you. Breaking promises to yourself is the quickest way to erode self-confidence. Stop letting your past steal from your future. Your growth is proportional to the truths about yourself that you're willing to face. Failures are temporary as long as you keep trying. Blame shifts power to others, allowing them to define your happiness and well-being. Blind trust often leads to betrayal. Understanding yourself is what truly matters. Life improves when you stop assuming there will always be more time. Be proactive. Each day should be a step forward in your journey. The bravest apologize first, the strongest forgive first, the happiest forget first. No single achievement or relationship can solve all your problems or fix you. Respect everyone, even those who may not deserve it, as a reflection of your character, not theirs. Winning isn't everything, but you always win if you're satisfied with your best effort. Set your own standards for success. Discover your why, the foundation of your goals that gives meaning to your actions and drives your ambitions. Taking responsibility for your problems reduces suffering more than it creates. Be yourself and speak your mind. Those who matter won't mind, and those who mind don't matter. Speaking only repeats what you know. Listening can teach you something new. Never date someone you wouldn't also be friends with. Learning from others' hard lessons is preferable to experiencing them yourself. Healing involves honestly examining your role in your own suffering. Challenge yourself. It's the key to personal growth. Ignoring warning signs because you want to see the good in people can have costly repercussions. Peace isn't the absence of noise, trouble, or hard work. It's maintaining inner calm amidst chaos. Stay away from those who use their pain as a justification to hurt you. Don't overshare with others. Most people aren't interested, and some may secretly wish for your failure. When you react impulsively, you give away your power. Perfectionism and procrastination are like diseases. Action is the remedy. Surround yourself with people who appreciate you, not just those who tolerate you. Prioritize your physical health. A weak body reflects a troubled mind and a lack of willpower and discipline. Some separations can be a blessing in disguise. True success isn't about seeking approval. It's about seizing opportunities, demonstrating your abilities, and achieving your goals against the odds. When you find someone more intelligent than you, collaborate with them instead of feeling threatened. Never expect to receive what you give. Not everyone has your heart. Your mental state shapes your life experience. Prioritize mental health as you would physical health, challenging your mind and engaging in positive self-talk. Life is challenging because we undervalue what comes easily. Don't let loneliness drive you to make hasty decisions with lasting consequences. Once you're on the right path, you'll stop feeling offended and angry all the time because you'll have better things to do. Growth requires a commitment to continuous learning, even when it's tedious. Keeping your personal life private is a form of self-care, even when you have a lot to share. Find a relationship where your true self brings joy to the other person. Comparing your life to someone else's is dangerous. It's not a competition. It's your unique journey. Don't quit after a single failure. Failure isn't the end. It's a detour on the road to success. Just because you don't understand the purpose of a difficult time doesn't mean there isn't one. Patience is a critical advantage in the game of life. Play the long game. Your future needs your attention. Your past does not. Staying true to yourself may lead to loneliness, but it's a worthwhile path. Jealousy can cause others to try to bring you down. Don't be surprised, it's common. Change can be frightening, but stagnation is even more so. Everyone will hurt you at some point. The challenge is finding those worth enduring the pain for. A day without problems is likely a day spent off course. The magic you seek is often found in the tasks you avoid. Discipline yourself diligently, keep your promises to yourself, and reward your efforts. This builds trust and motivation. Our lives are defined by the opportunities we encounter, even those we miss. Silent progress leaves no target for criticism. Pain lingers until it has taught you something. Some lessons need to be learned more than once. Staying composed under stress is crucial. It doesn't mean suppressing emotions, but not letting them control you. Clinging to the past diminishes the brightness of your future. The only true failure is not trying. The only rejection is not asking. The only mistake is not taking risks. If you can't say no, your yes loses its meaning. People want you to succeed, but usually not more than they want to succeed themselves. Stop selling yourself short and overestimating others. Blame gives power over you to others. Life has a way of resolving itself, even when it seems hopeless. Never compromise your potential for your current state. You don't need to prove anything to anyone, not even to yourself. Hard work attracts luck. Good things don't come to those who wait. Don't make one person the source of all your happiness. If they leave, you'll have nothing. When you feel like giving up, recall why you persevered for so long. Don't prioritize relationships over your goals. You might lose both. Love can be found more than once. Don't panic when someone you love leaves. It's often for the best. You'll have to make practical choices about what you want from life and what you're willing to sacrifice. If you don't make these choices, life will make them for you. Change occurs when we break from our usual patterns. Failure guides us by showing us what doesn't work. It's natural to feel remorse after making the right choice. Regardless of how kind and friendly you are, some people will dislike you regardless of your actions. Don't waste time on them. Later often implies never. Tough times can be a blessing as they highlight the good things we've overlooked. Never seek sympathy. Those who care will be there for you. You don't need to prove your friendship. You can't force love by giving more of what's already undervalued. Often, you must endure pain and grow independently. Money doesn't ensure happiness, but poverty can bring significant hardships. Avoiding problems won't make them vanish. Facing them is essential for growth. Regrets can haunt you if you don't learn to forgive. Comparing yourself to others is a waste of time. People may exploit your kindness if you allow it. Problems are as severe as we perceive them to be. Your fixation on finding happiness may hinder its achievement. Treat yourself with the same care you would offer someone you're responsible for helping. In your 20s, many relationships will fail, serving as learning experiences. Don't stress. It's all practice until marriage. Friends and family don't always know what's best for you. Believing yourself to be weak is the greatest mistake. Don't tolerate mistreatment from someone you love. Learning when to mind your own business and when to speak out is a valuable life lesson that smooths the path of life. Sometimes you must take risks, even if it's scary and outside your comfort zone. You'll never know what could have been unless you try. The secret to life is that there is no secret. With hard work, any goal is achievable. If you're not indispensable, unemployment may be near. Never become fully dependent on anyone. Always be self-sufficient. A wise person learns more from enemies than a fool from friends. We shy away from our dreams, fearing failure or, worse, success. You can't expect everyone to treat you well, nor can you treat everyone well. During life's worst times, you'll see the true nature of those who claim to care for you. If you don't heal from your hurts, you'll bleed, and those who didn't cause the pain will never expect and never put too much trust in anyone. Don't stay friends with bad people just because you've known them a long time. Our wounds can lead to our most beautiful qualities. People often only want to hear the good, not the bad. Finding someone to confide in can be challenging if you're struggling. Temporarily numbing pain can make it worse when it resurfaces. When a pivotal moment arrives, you have two choices: define the moment or let it define you. Stay away from narcissists. They don't play by the rules and can drain your life. Learn to choose your thoughts as carefully as you choose your clothes. This is a power you can develop if you want control in your life. Focus on your mind. It's the only thing you should strive to control. People tend to remember your mistakes, not your good deeds. In every situation, life poses a question, and our actions are the answer. Our task is to answer well. Let go of the desire for perfection to allow for further improvement. Prioritizing those who don't prioritize you leads to pain. You must set a direction in life. Otherwise, you won't reach your destination. Aimless wandering leads to disappointment and frustration. Dreams without goals remain just dreams. When you feel like you're barely holding on, let go. You shouldn't cling to something that makes you feel that way. Bad and good things don't impact us as deeply as we expect. We adapt quickly to both. Never ignore contempt. It can lead to harm. Remove such people from your life. Happiness requires a balance of darkness and light. Without sadness, happiness loses its meaning. You can't be happy with someone else if you're not happy with yourself. Don't fear life. Believe it's worth living, and your belief will help make it so. Holding grudges only harms you, not those you dislike. The only thing that makes a dream unattainable is the fear of failure. You don't appreciate a moment until it becomes a memory. Emotion, which is suffering, transforms and ceases to be suffering once we create a clear and precise image of it in our minds. People's actions reveal their true nature, not their words. True growth occurs when you begin to scrutinize and correct your own behavior rather than blaming others. You reclaim your power by taking responsibility for your life. If you're puzzled by someone's actions, examine the outcomes of their behavior, whatever they may be, and then deduce their motivations from those outcomes. The greatest risk is to avoid taking risks altogether. In a rapidly changing world, the only strategy that is certain to fail is one of inaction. Tomorrow never arrives because it's always today.
Thank you for listening, everyone. Please hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications to receive great videos every day from the Quotes of Stoic channel. Goodbye and see you again.